Hey guys, this is Mel, and I'm here to talk about Supernatural, episode 1217, titled The British Invasion, which premiered Thursday, April 6, 2017 on the CW, as well as episode 1218, titled The Memory Remains, which premiered Thursday, April 13, 2017. Right now I'm recording just a few hours after episode 1218 has aired, so huge spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the two episodes already, go do so first. Otherwise, then come back and see what I have to say about the two episodes. Otherwise, my other video reminders are up on screen here. I have a little something to mention at the very end of the episode, so I hope you tune in. Otherwise, let's try to do this in 20 minutes, and let's begin with the 20-minute clock and what happened in 1217. So timeline-wise, I'm not really sure how long it's been since the previous episode, so I'll leave it at that. But the episode reminder I'd have to say is there are many turning points when it comes to alliances, both on the side of good and the side of evil, I guess you could say. But the breakdown of the episode, I found three different storylines going on. First one was finding Kelly Klein. Second was all the different side dealings we get involving the British men of letters. And then the third was the power struggles within hell. Now, in regards to the first one, when finding Kelly Klein, we get Sam and Dean reuniting with Elaine Leahy from episode 1111 as she gets a lead on Dagon. We also find out that Kelly won't survive the birth of her Nephilim child. As always, the child pretty much burns out the mother as it's being born. There is that. We find them getting confronted by Dagon when they try to get Kelly to their sides, only to have Dagon escape with Kelly Klein once again. Second one, dealing with side dealings, we see a few scenes with Mary and Mr. Ketch, and then we also see scenes with Mick dealing with Dr. Hess and Mr. Ketch. Dr. Hess is, originally she was the head mistress of Mick's academy when he was growing up. She so far seems to be the leader of the British Men of Letters, but she does talk about a group of elders that she still has to answer to. So there is that. Third storyline, dealing with hell, we see Crowley trying to crush the disloyalty among his demons by showing Lucifer's submission to him. However, while doing that, Lucifer seems to secretly try to find a way out of his vessel confinement, trying to break the rune work that Crowley had placed on the vessel that keeps him compliant with Crowley's say-so. Last scene of the episode showed Dr. Hess giving Mr. Ketch orders to kill all the American hunters, starting with the Winchesters. So that's a little surprise there. Tidbits, though, is that Sam and Dean have not heard anything from Castiel. End tally, though, of the episode shows Mick killing his best friend Timothy in 1987 when he was ordered to do so by Dr. Hess, or head mistress Hess. She'd said that only one of you is going to be walking out, and she left them with one knife. So Mick and Timothy either had to fight to the death, or they had to figure out who was going to be walking out of there. So there's that. Also, in the present day, we get Elaine accidentally killing Rennie Rawlings, who is someone Dr. Hess has sent to help Mick out. And this was done when she was aiming for Dagon with the Colt, but when Dagon disappeared before the bullet pierced her, it had hit Rennie, who was directly behind Dagon. So there's that. And also we see Mr. Ketch killing Mick at the very end. So there's that. Then moving on to the next episode, 1218. Timeline-wise, again, I don't know how far timeline-wise it's been since the previous episode, or since the event of, or I guess you could say event of Mick's death, so it's unknown there. It's definitely not known in the Winchesters that Mick is dead, though. But enough time has passed for it to make sense that Mick has gone back to London, as the cover story is. Episode reminder, though, is the pretty much family secrets from the looks of it, and the breakdown storyline for the episode. I found two of them. You get the first storyline being the Black Bill case that was sent to Sam and Dean by Mick, where they think it was Mick, but it was really just an email by Mr. Ketch to cover up the fact that Mick is dead. And then the second storyline is the fact that there was a bunker break-in. So first storyline deals with the Black Bill myth, having the Winchesters thinking they're dealing with a satyr. Turns out that the Bishop family had found the god of sacrifice, which is their creature of the day, and locked it up, only feeding it human blood, which was required when it was on the verge of starvation. Sheriff Bishop stopped the family tradition when his father died in 1996, and he had hoped that by starving Moloch, the god of sacrifice, to death, that it would be the end of his family's terrifying legacy. But however, Moloch was found and released by Pete, who was the sheriff's half-brother. So there's all that. Now with the second one dealing with the bunker breaking, Mr. Ketch and his men catalog the bunker after breaking in and planting all these surveillance devices all around the place to allow them to learn everything they can about the Winchesters in hopes that they could lead up to them killing them off. So there's that. Last scene of the episode shows Mr. Ketch staring at Dean's old photo of Dean as a kid with Mary in 1983. Tidbits show that Sam and Dean still haven't heard anything from Cass. Dean's been leaving messages, but they have gone unanswered as he tries to update him on Dagon and the status that they have. We also see Dean hooking up with a waitress by the name of Carmen in the town of Tomahawk. And we see Pete using his own family motto, which was saving people, hunting people, the family business, which has Dean just staring at him going, what the fuck are you talking about, man? It's like, don't be stealing my family motto type thing. It looks like it. He doesn't say that, though. The quote was said, though. And tally, though, we get Sam being pretty busy in this episode as Sam kills Pete to save Sheriff Barry Bishop. And then we see him later, or moments later, really, Sam killing Moloch to save Dean, who just had his head bashed in by the goddess sacrifice. So there's that. Moving on, the most shocking moment of the episodes. In 12:17, I was pretty surprised when Mr. Ketch killed Mick, just when Mick was defending the Winchesters against Dr. Hess. And then in tonight's episode, in 12:18, I was surprised by the bunker invasion happening. And I still don't feel good about that, though. But they were very thorough about it, for sure. So moving on, though, to top 3 favorite moments. In episode 12:17, I love the fact that Sam and Dean got the Colt back. How Dean was just reminiscent of the fact that he has it back in his hands was pretty great. It's just to see such an iconic weapon in their possession. Also with them having so much history with it, it's just great to see them have it again. Dean hasn't used it since he used it against Lucifer in 5:10, but then he used it again in 6:18 when he went back in time to in the 1860s. So that's the last time Dean has seen the Colt. So it's really great to see him have it back in his hands again. So there's that. Another favorite of mine has to be Sam and Dean working with Elaine again. It's just great to see them coming together and working together, and the dynamic between them shows that this isn't the first time since they met her back in episode 11:11 that they've worked with her. From their dynamic and the familiarity between the three of them, it seems like they have worked with each other off screen for maybe a few times now, because I definitely didn't get with them. I didn't get the vibe that this was the first time they've called her since meeting her. I think they've actually been in touch with her, though we didn't know about it, since meeting her. So it was great to see that dynamic. It was great to see the comfort level between all three of them, how they were able to work together. And then at the very end, when Elaine needed comforting over the fact that she accidentally killed a human, Sam and Dean were there for her. So I really like that. Another favorite of mine has to be the fact that Mick was coming to Sam and Dean's defense against Dr. Hess in his final moments. I really like that Mick was defending them and how they were saying that despite not always being successful, the Winchesters do have a code of their own, which leaves them, that doesn't question their morals or doesn't have them feeling worse than if Mick had followed the British Mental Letter Code or anything like something with codes and stuff like that, moral codes and all that. But I really like the fact that Mick was defending Sam and Dean against the people who took him in and told him and gave him a purpose in life. It was sad that those were his final moments, but at least I really like the fact that Mick had come to that point where he was rethinking everything and coming to realize that maybe Sam and Dean were onto something. Maybe their way is the right approach to doing things. So there's that. Now, the episode from tonight, 12:18, my favorite moment has to be the carving initials moment between Sam and Dean. It was when they were talking about legacies, if what they have been doing, if they would be leaving a legacy behind after they're gone. And they talk about, no, they're not, but the people that they save, that's their legacy, and the fact that they get to continue to live their lives, that's what they're fighting for. And I thought that was really great. It was a little worrisome having them talk about their future like that, but it was great to see their perspectives on it, and then to have it end off with the Dean starting the idea of them carving their initials into the bunker table, just like they did when they were kids in the Impala frame, and have that flashback showing. I really love that. It definitely takes the cake for my most favorite part of the episode for sure, and I'm glad they included that. To me, the carving of their initials kind of solidifies the fact that they think the bunker as their home. Like, obviously, the Impala, they did it when they were kids into the Impala because it was their home. It's the only home they ever had. It's a constant thing they had in their life. And then, even though they were talking about legacies and leaving their mark, them carving their name into the bunker table, to me, felt like them finally calling it home for them and claiming it as their own. Maybe they'll do a carving of into the actual wall structure of the bunker to make it more of a permanent fixture, because you can always throw it. So I really like that. I definitely liked that that's how we got to see the last moment of Sam and Dean in the episode one, for sure. And moving on to most top 3 peeved moments. In 12:17, I do not like Dr. Hess. The fact that she's asking 2 kids to pretty much fight each other to the death? No. I don't care about your code. That right there screams something is wrong, for sure. So that was one peeve of mine. Second peeve was the fact that Mary slept with Mr. Ketch. Yes, you heard me. Mary slept with the enemy. And that really has me peeved. While I did like the fact that she flat out said that just because we slept together doesn't mean anything has changed between us. It's like, okay, at least she's not getting attached to him that way, though. But now she just opened a can of worms, and now that's just really going to cause complications between her and her sons. It's just, no, I don't like that team up whatsoever, because I do not trust Mr. Ketch, which leads me to my peeve from 12:18. It was the fact that Mr. Ketch broke into the bunker and he invaded the Winchesters' privacies, going into every nook and cranny that was there, including their own bedrooms, going into Dean's things like the way he did, and then taking one of his photos, a precious photo, in fact, of Dean's remaining photo of him and Mary from 1983. I mean, the fact that Dean has kept it for this long proves that it's a very precious item for him. And then to have Mr. Ketch steal that and keep it for his own, it's like, no, I do not like that. Mr. Ketch, you are definitely not on my good side, ever, whatsoever. So there's that. Moving on to what moment will I remember most when I look back on this episode. I definitely would have to say for 12:17, the British men of letters having declared war on the American hunters. Pretty much putting a kill order on all of them is definitely going to be a huge reminder, even though none of the hunters know about it, which sucks, and a huge disadvantage for them. But 12:18 has me remembering about the legacy talks and thinking about what you're going to leave behind. So that is something to remember as well. So moving on to random questions, though, I do have a few questions for each episode, actually. For 12:17, my first one was, is it possible that despite his words, Mr. Ketch has grown attached to Mary? Will that affect his decisions regarding her or her sons in the future? I hope so. I definitely hope it has him second-guessing the kill order he's now been given on Sam and Dean, so we'll see. But I still don't like Mr. Ketch. Second question, is Eileen in real danger from the British men of letters? They talked about capturing her, and I'm really worried about that, and dishing out a punishment for her killing Rennie. So I'm a little bit worried for Eileen. I really hope we see her again, but I hope it's not that we see her only for her to be killed. I would hate for that to happen. Third question, does Crowley suspect Lucifer's plan to break from his vessel? I hope so. I mean, Crowley claims he's 10 steps ahead, so hopefully he has anticipated this move of Lucifer's and kind of made plans against it, though, because I would kind of hate to see what would happen if Lucifer gets out of Crowley's leash when he does. So there's that. Last question for 12:17 was, will Sam and Dean change the locks to the bunker? Apparently not, according to 12:18, but they really should look into that. I mean, Mick coming in unannounced like he did should have been a huge alert for Sam and Dean to go change the locks like they could have, because it was just a simple key. They just have to find a way to change it up so that they only have the key, the only key to get inside their home. So there's that. I hope they do change it, or I hope they remember or that moment or that little realization that Mick gave them. So there's that. So questions for 12:18 though, I had that, well, how long before Sam and Dean realize that the bunker has been invaded, that there's been listening devices planted everywhere, and that things have been moved around and touched and taken. At first I thought maybe when Dean was trying to take out a few things that maybe he'll notice some things out of place, but I'm hoping by next episode they'll think something is wrong, or they'll have suspicions. But I really hope it doesn't take them long to realize that someone unwanted has been inside their home. So there's that. Last question, though, was could Mr. Ketch be harboring an obsession with Mary? I mean, that photo has me worried, but I don't know if that obsession would work in our favor or not. Meaning the Winchesters' favor. So there's that. Moving on though to predictions, guys. So based off the promo for 12/19, the episode isn't going to air until April 27th. So there's going to be 1 week without any new episode, and then we're back for this episode. But it does show that Dagon tells Kelly that once the baby's born, she's dead because of it. So kind of like one life for the other type thing, or she just doesn't survive the birthing. But it looks like Castiel returns, and he, along with Sam and Dean, go after Dagon, who they come to realize is very hard to kill. So I guess we'll have to see about that. But based off the synopsis for 12/19, it looks like Dagon makes a bold choice. And it reads that Sam comes up with a way to stop Lucifer's baby, but Castiel has something else in mind for Kelly. Dean is furious when he finds out someone stole the colt. Kelly makes a bold choice about the baby's future. So there's that. New questions, though, based off those synopsis, though. If Dean finds out that the colt has been stolen, maybe if the colt was in the bunker, that's their way of finding out that maybe the bunker can be breached. Maybe they'll find some other security reasons, but I really don't like the idea that the colt is already stolen from the Winchesters just after they've gotten it. So there's that. It would be great to see Castiel come back. Does he have a heaven army behind him or something, or we'll have to see about that. But otherwise, predictions overall, one of them is that I think there's going to be a showdown between Mr. Ketch and the Winchester brothers, which will force Mary to finally pick a side. She's always been adamant this season about not picking between her family and between hunting, and now how it can't be one or the other. So in this case, family is the Sam and Dean, obviously, and then hunting is kind of Mr. Ketch being the representative. So I think if there's a showdown between Mr. Ketch and the brothers, then Mary's going to have to finally pick a side, which one she's going to side with, or which one she's going to have to betray. So I'm hoping, if it does come to that, I hope that it's Mary that ends up killing Mr. Ketch to save Sam and Dean, because ultimately it should be family before hunting. Even Sam and Dean do that when it really comes down to it. They will put family before the hunt, unless it's really dire situations, then it'll be the reverse. But that's only if both sides agree that it has to be the reverse. So there's that. So I really hope that it comes down to that. But if it does, I'm calling it right now. Another prediction I have is that Sam and Dean are going to have to eliminate the British men of letters to save the American hunters. There's definitely going to be an all-out war between them. And I'm hoping for this because it's going to really show how badass Sam and Dean are. It's kind of when they broke out of the high security prison in the mid-season premiere. I'm kind of getting that kind of vibe, hopefully. But I'm hoping there's going to be, at least I'm hoping they get clued in on the fact that they have kill orders on their head now by the people they're supposedly working for. So there's that. Another prediction I have is that Kelly is going to change her mind about the baby now that she knows that she won't survive the birth of her Nephilim baby. Maybe now she'll reconsider aborting it before it takes her life, or before it wreaks havoc on the world as it's being claimed to be. So maybe we'll see that, though. But that's about all the predictions I have at the moment, guys. So what do you guys think of the 2 episodes? What did you guys like about? What do you think is going to happen next? Let me know in the comments down below. Love to hear your own thoughts, theories, predictions about what you think is going to happen next. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. If you want, check out my Tumblr page. The link for that is down below. I read blog promos, web clips, quotes, GIFs, synopses, news, all that good stuff, all found at one place. So go check out the links below for that. Also, it's connected to my WordPress account. Link for that is down below. WordPress is connected to everything that I post online. It's a little more organized, but it's work in progress. But I hope you check it out and give it a chance. But that's also, if you want a detailed recap of the 2 episodes, check out my Livejournal entries for those episodes. It's more of a detailed play-by-play of the episode as I'm watching it for the first time, with my in-moments thoughts and questions as I summarize it. It's definitely a helpful reminder for me. It definitely keeps things in order, but the 2 links for those are down below as well. And that's about it. Now, I mentioned at the very beginning that there's something I wanted to mention, though, but previously, in the previous video, I mentioned that I went to a convention. I forgot to mention that I bought a photo by an artist in the artist alleyway, and it's up on screen right now. It's a photo of Sam and Dean trying to get Castiel in a little selfie. I really like the photo. Stupid thing of me to do, though, is I don't know the artist's name. I did get them to sign it, though, so there's their signature. So if you do recognize the picture, or if you recognize the signature, please let me know of where I could find their website or have a name or somewhere I can go to find out more contact information for them, because I really want to know if they have any more other supernatural stuff. It's just once I saw it at the convention and did a few rounds in the artist alleyway, I just always came back to it until I finally decided to buy it. So I thought I'd share that for you. It was a really great piece of work. I wish I could draw, but I suck. So there's that. Otherwise, guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you come back in a few weeks to find out what I have to say about the next episode. But until then, guys, this is Mel. Wish you all a great day, great week, wherever you are. Bye for now.